the Honorable Chairman Ranganath Ji, the Chairman Kate, Committee for Advancement of Technology and Engineering, Dr. M. Nemi Chandrappa Sir, Chairman Agriculture Engineering Board and Dean Agricultural Engineering College of Engineering, University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur. Our Honorable Chairman, Engineer Masarrat Noor Khan Sahab, had been Chief Engineer UP State and Managing Director Beach Corporation of UP. I also welcome Major General Yali Saab and the eminent panelists, Dr. Tbs Rajput and Dr. Rajendra Gupta. Briefly, I would like to tell one thing, that since Institution of Engineers is the largest multidisciplinary professional body of engineers, established in 1920 with headquarters in Kolkata and incorporated under the on 19 September 1930. The Royal Charter endowed the institution with responsibility to promote general advancement of engineering amongst its members and persons attached to the institution. It is with this reference that we decided to go for a technical webinar concerning the importance of water, which is a critical resource, and water is important from all aspects of life. So, sir, I will now request our Honorable Chairman, Engineer Masarrat Noor Khan Sahab, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Chairman, sir.
Namaskar, everybody. I am Masarrat Noor Khan, Chairman, UP State Center. I am feeling proud that the UP State Center Institution of Engineers is organizing a technical webinar on micro-irrigation, potential input for enhancing farmers' income under the aegis of Institute of Engineers and Agriculture
Engineering Board.
Engineering Division Board. Engineering Board. I feel proud in welcoming our National President, Dr. H.O. Thackeray, FIE, who has consented to raise the occasion, presidential address on the occasion. I am highly thankful to him and I do welcome him.
He has joined.
I welcome our eminent panelist, Dr. Tbs Rajput, ARS. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Professor Agriculture, Indian Engineering Institute, New Delhi. And another our eminent panelist, Dr. Rajendra Gupta, Principal Scientist, Soil and Water Conservation Engineering, Agriculture, ICAR, Indian Institute of Sugarcane Research, Lucknow. I'm also thankful to Dr. M. Nemi Chandrappa, Chairman, Agriculture Engineering Division Board, Institute of Engineers, India, and Dr. G. Ranganathan, Chairman, Committee for Advancement of Technology and Engineering, Institute of Engineers. I also do welcome our Honorary Secretary of UP State Center, the committee
24
and the I will I do also welcome all the participants, a good strength of about 300 persons who are participating. I hope everybody will get benefited with the address of today's eminent personalities and other speakers. In 70s, there was a green revolution and there was a need that I think, as mentioned in the brochure, that we have stressed our natural resources. So today's webinar and topic is for the same thing, that what steps our government of India have taken and what we should do in future to get the things done better. Once again, I do thank you and do welcome all the participants and eminent personalities for today's webinar. Over to our honorary secretary, the moderator, Dr. Jaswant Singh. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time from your very busy schedule being on abroad. I am thankful that you gave me time. Now, I take the privilege of requesting Dr. M. Nemichandrappa Sahab, the chairman, Agriculture Engineering Board, who is Dean Agricultural Engineering College of Agricultural Engineering, University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur. Along with your welcome address, you can also briefly give your little viewpoints on the subject on which we are meeting today.
Thank you, sir.
Nemichandrappa Sahab.
I am audible?
Yes, here.
President of the Institute of Engineers, H.O. Thackeray, sir, and Masroor Noor Khan, Chairman, Uttar Pradesh State Center, and Ranganath, Chairman, Committee for Advancement of Technology and Engineering, Institute of Engineers, and Jaswant Singh, Honorary Secretary, Uttar Pradesh State Center, and panelist Tbs Rajput, sir, and Rajendra Gupta. So I will highlight on two of the community projects in Karnataka. I think Rajput sir is involved in those projects. So with the micro-irrigation has demonstrated very promising results, including increase in water use efficiency and also the yield of the crops, thereby increasing the farmer's income up to the 50% more. Some important statistics I will give. Data from the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare showed that the net irrigation area in the country is 68,649 hectares. The agricultural land covered under micro-irrigation is 12,908 hectares, in which drip irrigation is 6,112 hectares and sprinkler 6,796 hectares. This means that out of the total irrigated land in the country, only 19% is under micro-irrigation. So recently in 2015-16, we have one Pradhana Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana and per drop more crop. In order to accelerate the accessibility of micro-irrigation technology in our country, the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare has started implementing the PMKSY and PDMC from 2015 to 16 across the states. The scheme focuses on enhancing water use efficiency at farm level through micro-irrigation system, including drip and sprinkler irrigation. Reports put forward some important statistics about the achievements of the scheme which showed that Karnataka and Tamil Nadu have reaped maximum benefits from this scheme. Out of 53.73 lakhs hectares covered under the micro-irrigation under this scheme, Karnataka has covered 10 lakhs 92,874 hectares. That is 20% of the total micro-irrigation under the scheme, while Tamil Nadu has covered 15%, Gujarat 14%, Andhra Pradesh 14%, Maharashtra 11%, are the other three states which have benefited from the scheme. Of the total area of 53.73 lakh hectare covered under the scheme, drip irrigation covered 28.23 lakhs hectares, sprinkler irrigation covered 25.50 lakhs hectares through the scheme from 2015-16 to March 2021. An impact evaluation study of micro-irrigation scheme carried out by the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare found that irrigation cost is reduced by 20 to 50%, an average of 32.3% in micro-irrigation schemes. Electricity consumption is reduced by about 31%, and the saving of fertilizers in the range of 7 to 42%. Most importantly, the overall income enhancement of the farmer is in the range of 48.5%. However, the government data shows that very few states have shown enthusiasm to execute micro-irrigation system to save water and add to farmers' income. And challenges in adopting this micro-irrigation are ability and willingness to make the initial investment, because it is initially high investment, and relatively small land holdings, crop rotation issues, availability of electricity, and dealing with the operational issues such as clogging. So, I will come to the two community irrigation projects in Karnataka. In 2008, Basavaraj Bommai, the present Chief Minister of Karnataka, he was the Water Resource Minister at that time. In 2012, he started one community irrigation project that is purely sprinkler irrigation. It covers around 25,000 acres, or roughly some 10,000 hectares. So actually, by conventional method, it requires 2.6 TMC feet of water, whereas by adopting this community project, it requires only 0.9 TMC feet of water for irrigation of 25,000 acres with the help of the sprinkler. Israel sprinkler, it is the scheme was modeled on an Israeli sprinkler irrigation system. So 23 villages will be able to use the facility. The remaining 7 villages will be covered a little late. Already it is also there. This project total cost is 31 crores. Total area of 9,900 hectare has been divided into 119 blocks of about 80 to 85 hectare. Each block has been provided with a portable overhead sprinkler irrigation system connected to a pump. Water from the 119 sumps will supply to 10,912 sprinklers through 10 HP pumps to irrigate 154.69 hectare in 1 hour. The sprinkler irrigation system will be operated for 16 hours a day so as to cover an area of 2,475 hectares, and in 4 days it will cover the whole 9,900 hectares will be irrigated. The cycle will start again on the 5th day, like this community irrigation project. This is the first one in Karnataka, and this is after completion of this project, 2 years the irrigation department will maintain with the help of the contractor, and afterwards it will be handed over to Water Users Association. Similarly, in 2017, I think this here in this project, Rajput sir is involved. About 24,000 hectares is covered under the stage 2 Ramtal lift irrigation project in 2017. Earlier, same 24,000 hectares was covered with the help of the canal irrigation. So this project was beneficiary more than 15,000 farmers. Infrastructure cost is borne by the government of Karnataka. System operation through wireless automation, operation and maintenance of system for first 5 years was by the Krishna Bhagya Jala Nigama, KBJNL, that is irrigation department, and afterwards formation of Water Users Association and marketing linkage. Marketing linkage also provided here. So 90% additional area coverage using the same quantity of water. 12,571 hectare area covered in stage 1 by flood irrigation through canals versus 24,000 hectare area covered in stage 2 by integrated drip irrigation in both stages. Water requirement remains the same, 2.77 TMC. With the 2.77 TMC with micro irrigation, we can cover 24,000. Whereas in the first stage with traditional irrigation, it covers only 12,571 hectares. Double the number of beneficiaries with the same resources, equitable distribution of water, irrespective of topography and distance of farm from the water source, improved standard of living of project beneficiaries, improved crop quality and produce. So these are the 2 community irrigation projects implemented in Karnataka. One in 2012, another one is 2007. Now, with this, I will conclude my speech, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for highlighting the state states. Now I take the opportunity to request Dr. G. Ranganath ji, Chairman, Committee of Advancement of Technology and Engineering, Institution of Engineers India, and he is a principal, Adhiyaman College of Engineering, which is autonomous body, Asur, Tamil Nadu. Sir, for your address, please.
Thank you, Honorable Secretary, for our compliments as well as nice welcoming us. And I am very happy that you given even a good reminder 2 days back regarding 2 days back. Generally, Secretary will be sending a message, then they leave as it is to the people, but you are giving a reminders and follow-up action. Thank you.
Thank you.
The President of II, Engineer H.O. Takrazi, then SDG from headquarters, Major General Sailiji, the Chairman of Agriculture Division Board, and good friend of me, academician, a senior professor from Agriculture University from Karnataka, Dr. Imini Chandrabaji, the retired chief engineer from Uttar Pradesh State Center, who is very dynamic in taking administrations. Now, presently, taken responsibility the chairman of Uttar Pradesh State Center, Engineer Masrat Nurkanji, Honorable Secretary, Engineer Jasan Singh ji, two eminent speakers. By seeing them, I am so happy. One can come to conclusion that they are having vast experience. In a small portion they are going to share to the farmers is going to be big beneficial for the farmers. Dr. Tbs Rajput ji, Dr. Rajendra Gupta ji. And of IEI, first let me thank these two panelists. Being your busy schedule, you came forward to share your expertise with the participants. So I should thank you personally. And Ms. Aparna, who is representing technical department from IIA headquarters, is the one who is coordinating very nicely to all the members. All participants, those who are here, maybe budding engineers, young engineering graduates in the field of agriculture division. And if farmers are there, I am double happy to, if not I mentioned the name, if farmers are attending here, I am double happy to welcome all of them. And my evening greetings to each and every one of you. I am so happy and thankful to Uttar Pradesh State Center. Really, they taken a wonderful assignment of webinar, especially micro-irrigation, which is going to be a potential input for enhancing farmers' income. Though I know that Uttar Pradesh is not only the big state, one of the big state in the country, maybe on area-wise or population-wise. Beyond that, it's also one of the important state having agricultural field in a bigger way, like Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, combined Andhra Pradesh. Of course, now two states of Andhra and Telangana, then Karnataka and so on. This topic itself is a very important topic. And Nimi Chandrappa, who is the chairman of the board, he has given some of the data how Government of India is encouraging the farmers by various schemes, how Karnataka state government has taken various schemes, how our even eminent panelist is involved in some of the projects in other states, including Karnataka. So all these things will inspire any participant. Yes, today's program is going to be wonderful and meaningful, and they are going to get a lot of inputs. So this sprinkler system, irrigation system, and drip irrigation system, no doubt in that it got lot of benefit for the farmers, not only saving the water, including labor, saving the labor. So let me not go through much about this technical aspects, because two eminent panelists, they are going to share their wide experience. But let me touch other parts. Though Honorable Secretary has given some small inputs on IEI, beyond that I want to share. So IEI is having 15 divisions today in IEI headquarters with our IEI corporates. We got nearly 2.5 lakh corporate members composed of all these 15 divisions, like mechanical, civil, chemical, electrical, electronics, so on, like including agri. But unfortunately, agriculture division is having very small in numbers. Size of the agriculture division is very small, but our country is very big, and good number of engineers are available in the field. Even other engineer belongs to maybe mechanical or electrical or civil, they are working in agri field, agriculture division, they can become a member in this board. So my appeal to all the agriculture division chairman and this chairman of Uttar Pradesh State Center, Nurkanji, and Honorable Secretary Jasan Singh ji, please percolate to all these engineering graduates, directly, indirectly, those involved in this field. Let them come forward to become a members in our forum, because the light membership fees of our forum is not even sometimes equivalent to one yearly fees of some other forums. Very, very nominal fees, light member fees. The other forums are charging differently. Now all these 15 divisions in every year, we are encouraging all the state centers and local centers, 125 state centers and local centers in the country. All these centers we are encouraging, we are supporting financially up to a certain extent. We have a good number of programs like one-day seminars, or two-day all-India level seminars, workshops, webinars or today like this, we are encouraging them. Beyond that, we are giving one of the important program to be called as convention. Very prestigious function of the divisions, it is called as convention. Minimum 2 days program. For that, nearly we are giving about 1.5 lakh, 150,000 we are giving for agricultural division board. 1.5 lakhs financial support we are giving. There, it is going to be all India level convention, where we are going to invite good number of papers to present in the field of your own chosen topics. And good number of speakers like today's panelists, we are going to invite them as the keynote speakers in different sessions. Of course, it's not going to be an online, it should be offline now. Last 2 years, it was an online because of pandemic situation. Now we have taken a decision because online was not so encouraging. We want to save some financially, we want to save some money, but it is not so encouraging. So then we taken a decision. Of course, in coming 26, we are having a CATE meeting. There we are going to officially approve this. All the local centers, state centers, they should take as many programs as possible and offline, so that we can invite good number of speakers. They can come and they can share the experience. For example, if we take a topic, actually it should be an offline, and we should invite not less than 100 to 200 farmers, because it is not so easy to meet them, any individual to them, our panelists, either Gupta ji or Rajput ji, to meet them it is not so easy, because they are having their own schedule, they are having their own assignments. But once they come to the stage for the topic of discussion, 200 farmers are sitting means 200 Rajputs, 200 Guptas are going to talk to them. So this type of programs actually, instead of offline, we should come into the online. Instead of online, we should come into the offline. So the farmers is going to have interaction directly. So that we should do. And again in this convention, 2 eminent engineers in the field of your agriculture, we can honor them as eminent engineers. Maybe one in the field of agri, one in the field of agri with the academic sides. We can honor them. It is an occasion where you can honor them. So there is a lot of benefits like this. I believe this agri division board is going to take all these activities in a forward direction. And this very important domain, as far as me personally invite concern, agri division is very important domain, very important division, where all of us should give very importance to that, and in the encouraging way we should do it. Not only encouraging budding engineers and engineering personalities, benefit us to reach the farmer. Then only our intention of technical inputs, technical developments, technical innovations is the meaning. Whatever we are going to innovate in the field of agriculture, unless it reach the farmer, who is going to implement in the field, no meaning. The technology which should keep only in the books, which will never help us. So I believe all these things are going to take place. And today deliberation discussions by 2 eminent speakers is going to be very fruitful, because I was told nearly about 150 members is already enrolled as a participants. As I know, nearly about 24 members are already there in the line. So they are seeing that. So with this, let me thank the chairman of the UP Research Center, Honorable Secretary, and Chairman of the Division Board, good friend of me, Dr. Nimi Chandrapaji, and both the panelists, being elder in nature and seniors in age, my pronouns to both of them to share their experience with our participants. Because I had to attend another 440, another one program is there for me. I will take leave of the Honorable Secretary. With this, let me thank and let me wish all the best for all this program, and good luck in your program, sir. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for very informative and valuable address. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to introduce the panelists. I go with Dr. Tbs Rajput. On the subject, I shall be putting the problems while they speak on that. So I am leaving that. Straight away, I am coming to the panelist introduction. Dr. Tbs Rajput is an adjunct professor both at Indian Agriculture Research Institute, IARI, New Delhi, and at Professor Jaishankar, Telangana State Agricultural University, Hyderabad, and a visiting professor at Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok. He is former project director of Technology Center at IARI, New Delhi, and has over 45 years of experience of research and postgraduate teaching, soil and water conservation engineering. Friends, he has made significant contributions in the field of agricultural water management. He has developed 7 computer software, published 10 books, and more than 200 research articles on different aspects of agricultural water management. Dr. Rajput has received many honors and awards, including Excellence in Engineering Technology Medal, Divisional Gold Medal, IEIA, Dan Institute, Sukshma Sinchai Puraskar, John Ville Award, ISIT, Jawaharlal Nehru Award, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Award, and the prestigious Rafi Ahmad Kidwai Award of ICAR. Besides research, he has also supervised more than 20 postgraduate researches. He was honored with Best Teacher Award by the ICAR, IARI, and with Shiksha Puraskar and Gyan Vigyan Puraskar at MOH, Government of India. He has served as a guest faculty at CBIP, WAPCOS, Manage, Valmi, and many state agricultural universities. He is widely traveled and is a fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences and 6 other national scientific societies in India. With this brief introduction, I straight will go to Dr. Rajput and request him to kindly deliver his valuable talk. Dr. Rajput.
Thank you, Dr. Jaswant Singh, my old friend and honorary secretary. Dr. Rangnath ji, Chairman, Committee of Agriculture, Technology Advancements, and I think that is the best thing that the ITI can do. Dr. Masarrat Noor Khan Sahab, Chairman, UP Center. Major General Siali Sahab, and Nemi Chandrappa Sahab, one my colleague, and we have been working together. And Rajendra Gupta, my co-panelist. I welcome all the audience who are not seen on the screen, but they are with us. And the farmers, as told by Dr. Rangnath, it is a pleasure to be with such a gathering. Particularly, it is a real pleasure when you speak within your community. I have been speaking to agriculturists, I have been speaking to farmers, I have been speaking to several other forums. But when you talk to engineers, it is a challenge as well as a pleasure to share your experiences and share your understanding of things. Well, the topic that has been suggested for the day is, are you able to see my screen?
Yes. No. No.
No, just let me try. Don't worry.
Go to screen share button, Rajat ji. In your system, there will be a screen share button.
No, I'm getting to that. Is some.
You can take your own.
Yeah, it's okay, fine. I'm coming there. It's okay now?
Clear nahi hai. Not clear.
It is coming, sir. There is a network delay probably.
We are not able to see your slides.
Oh,
You would see. Now are you able to see?
No.
No, sir. Sir, you please click on the green button.
No, I did that.
Yes, sir. But after that, that has been closed.
Okay.
It was
let me.
initiated, but it has been closed after that.
Okay. Let me see. Is coming now?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yes,
would
please.
make it full screen. And then we'll be able to start.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
So friends, I'm going to speak on the subject of real my choice micro-irrigation, on which I have been working for a quite long time. And I would like to discuss that how can this micro-irrigation be helpful in increasing farmers' income. Now, when we talk of income, and particularly farmers' income, there are three major ingredients. One is, what are the inputs? The resource conservation is the critical thing, where the cost is involved. Number two is the production and the productivity. And third is the quality of the produce. Now, I will try to relate and analyze how best micro-irrigation succeeds in doing this. So just to begin with, I'll just not take more time. We are all engineers. We all understand that we have very limited water. And whatever water we have is only 1%, slightly above 1% is available for use, human use. And when we come to India, India is really not very much blessed with the water resources. If you just see, water resources are only 4% of the world, whereas land mass is only 2.3% of the world, whereas we are catering to a population of more than 16%. And more than that, there is other problem that distribution of this available rainfall or available water resource that we have, it is skewed in terms of space and in terms of time. So we'll have to manage with all these things, whereas we'll have to also see our changing demand patterns. And if we see how did we develop in this country, and engineers must be happy to listen to my statement that India is one of the countries where the irrigation facilities were created earliest in the world. And if we talk of the Indian development or Indian evolution, we have, traversed a long distance. If you see the first small bar chart, you will see that most of the water resources were under the control of the community, up to 75% or more. And that's why we have the wells, we have the ponds and the lakes, and they were all under the control of the community. There was very little intervention from the state, that is the government, and the individual control on water resources. But with the passage of time, the government started intervening and taking control by developing the network of infrastructure of canal systems. It so happened, yes, the water distribution span increased, but the control slowly shifted to the government. And because of, I'm not going to speak on negative aspects of these things, but there were problems. And finally, what the individuals saw, that they are not getting what they should and when they should, then they started developing their own water resource through groundwater exploitation. And the control then shifted to individuals. And that is happening, let us understand, for good, for bad, we'll have to analyze that. And if we see that the statistics, I'm not going to speak, you all can see through the net. I'll just not spend more time on that. But if we see, the government of India has invested a huge sum in developing water resources. particularly the infrastructure for its distribution. But the major problem that we have faced in this country is that though we developed a lot of potential, we could not utilize this fully. That's number one. And number two, this was not as per the demand pattern of the farmers to increase the production. So in that case, the utility or the productivity of this water resource was limited. And you all will agree, the statistics says that water utilization within the canal systems in this country is less than 40%. And we must be really concerned about it. And if we look to the total capita storage, per capita storage available in this country is very limited. You can compare with all the countries, all big countries, we are the lowest. And if the government and the engineers plan to go for large systems, you know what is the different lobbies they come against, and they create all sort of obstructions into all those projects. But anyway, we'll have to live with this situation. And the lower graph indicates that the per capita water availability has been declining and declining very fast. And we have almost crossed the acceptable limit or permissible limit, as you can just see. So we must be really worried about it. And if you look to the groundwater aspect, it is even worse. We have exploited more than what we could. All the dark spots in the Indian map you are seeing, they are just indicating these are the areas where groundwater has been exploited more than what the possible recharge and we can have in these areas. And its consequence is that the groundwater level is continuously declining. More and more energy is required for pumping and using it. And all those complications are coming, which I have anyway a different form we can discuss sometime. But at the same time, another concern I will show here is the virtual water transfer. We all understand we are not really happy with the situation of water resources in this country. But what are we doing? We are trying to export more and more rice. And with each kg of rice, you understand, in Indian terms, we are almost exporting 1,000 kg of water. Similarly, for other grains you are seeing in this particular table on the top, that what are we doing? We are importing the oil seeds and pulses, which require much less water. So our import for the water resources, virtual import, is limited, whereas we are exporting rice and we are exporting a lot of virtual water. Within the country also, the distribution is not uniform. You can just see that arrows marking the direction of virtual water flow. And overall, if we come that why are we talking water? Because we are using very conservatively 70% of the total water source in this country for agriculture. So anything, if we have to improve, it must start from 70%. And then if you just see what is the statistics, what is going on, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can just see that we have the statistics and the record that we are losing a large number of rivers and lakes and wells. So this is the situation that we are dealing, and finally the map that you are seeing, that 21 of our cities are identified by the Niti Aayog. They are going to have serious problem as far as the water resources are concerned. So if we have to improve water use in agriculture, what to do? What are the options? The options are, how do we use it? We all engineers, we understand, and the farmers, they will very easily understand that either we apply through borders, check basins, furrows, or micro-irrigation. And since we have limited quantity of water, but we must keep on increasing our production for increasing population and exports, we must use wisely and we must increase the water productivity. And I tell you, the micro-irrigation is the only option that offers a scientific solution for overcoming this difficulty and increasing the water productivity significantly. What is a micro-irrigation? Any system that conveys water through closed conduits to different parts of the field where the plants are there, and at small rates and more frequently, that is micro-irrigation. So what does it achieve? By regular irrigation, you are seeing the blue map, blue hatched map. This is the regular irrigation that we fill the field to up to field capacity and then let it deplete through evaporation, potential evapotranspiration. And then when it comes to really permissible limit, maximum permissible limit, we fill it again. So we get a sort of curve that we are seeing in the blue. So a plant has to experience almost flooding when it is flooded, and then in a very dry state. But if we come to sprinkler irrigation, that we apply more frequently with lesser quantity of water, that is the red line that you are seeing. So this fluctuation in the plant stress of flooding and drought is minimized. But when we come to drip, that you are seeing the black line on the top, the fluctuation is very, very small. So what we are doing, we are almost able to keep the moisture within the prescribed limit of field capacity, almost at the level of field capacity most of the time. And how the micro-irrigation is helping in saving water? The simple concept is that in surface irrigation, we are losing water through, number one, conveyance, number two, evaporation, number three, runoff, and number four, deep percolation. So if our conveyance system is closed conduit from the source to the plant, conveyance loss is zero. There is no evaporation loss. We are applying at a low rate. There is no chance of deep percolation. And we are applying in lesser quantity, smaller quantities. There is no chance of runoff. So we can see that micro-irrigation provides a practical solution, not a theoretical solution, but a practical solution to minimize all the losses in water application to the plants. Also, we'll understand one thing, that the plants, any living plant, is starting from its plantation to harvest, doesn't require the same quantity of water, doesn't require the same frequency. And in our regular systems, large systems of canal, what we see at the most, varabandi, and that also a fixed schedule. So fixed schedule at a fixed rotation cannot meet this challenge and cannot meet this requirement. So for doing this, we must come to micro-irrigation for increasing the environment or improving the environment for plant growth. And once the environment of the plant growth improves, it will give better yield, it will return higher income. The additional advantage or the critical advantage of micro-irrigation is that we save a lot of money in reduced fertilizer consumption. And how is that? In micro-irrigation, since it is the closed conduit from the source to the plant, how do we apply the fertilizer? We don't apply the fertilizer to the plants or in the field. We make a solution, and the solution is along with irrigation water, which is called fertilizer plus irrigation. There's a fertigation. And this fertigation you can just see here in this table. fertilizer use efficiency in conventional uses through nitrogen is only 30 to 50%, whereas drip plus fertigation can raise this efficiency level to 95%. Similarly, phosphorus, which is a low efficient nutrient, from 20 to 45, and potassium from 50 to 80%. And you can see a small curve that you are seeing here. As I had shown, I had told about the water requirement of the plant stage, it changes. Similarly, the nutritional requirement also changes with the growth of the plant. And only micro-irrigation, I'm repeating the word and underlining, only micro-irrigation gives you a flexibility of applying the fertilizer on any nutrient in the exact quantity when the plant requires. Now, I'm not going to talk about the benefits of the micro-irrigation. Dr. Chandappa has already said, and everybody knows that the yield is increased, the water is saved. The statistics and these data are available a lot on the net, so anybody can just see that. And not only it saves water, it saves fertilizer, it saves labor, as our chairman Kate said, lesser weeds, higher yields, and ultimately higher income. That's what we are interested in. Now, with the passage of time, drip has evolved and evolved very significantly in last 3-4 decades. You just see the first small picture where different plants are there, a lateral pipe is laid, and then each plant is irrigated separately or individually. From there we started and we came to orchards, and then we came to underground putting the laterals. And then when it came to growing the close growing crops like onion and garlic, it was impossible to do what was the concept earlier, that is in the picture 1, because the plants are spaced 10 centimeters to 15 centimeters. So it was almost unthinkable and impossible to provide diameters at those distances and those many. So the concept came of line source of water application. That means put the emitters closer on a lateral such that their wetting pattern merges, and instead of providing a point source of water application, it becomes a line source of water application. And this particular evolution really made the magic for the application of micro-irrigation in almost all crops. Today, up to wheat is doing very fine, and there are a lot of experiments going on rice. China has done some very good advancements in micro-irrigation in rice, and India is not far behind. We are also following that. Now let us see what the government has done or what needs to be done. As our chairman UP Center, Masarat Khan Sahab ne bola, the government is really sincerely. Let's start from the first table is the theoretical potential of micro-irrigation in India. How did we come to a figure of 69? This was the result of a national task force under chairmanship of Shri Naidu, Chandrababu Naidu ji, the then Chief Minister of Joint Andhra. And I had the privilege of being associated with the task force activities. And we estimated that in India, we could go as high as 70 million hectares. But the government is not sitting idle. In 1985, the government's first step came in popularizing micro-irrigation through developing a plasticulture development committee, National Committee on Plasticulture Development, and developing several centers. Today, those centers are 25, and they are known as Precision Farming Development Center across the country. They were assigned the task of developing the appropriate technologies for matching and for designing drip irrigation systems for different crops, different soils, different climate. And in 1992, the government schemes was started sincerely for financial assistance to the users. Then very critical input was given through National Mission on Horticulture. And I will talk in for the slide that horticulture development in this country really happened and said almost a sort of miracle and increased threefold, more than that. And we already have crossed the horticulture production more than grain production in this country. And this all has happened because of direct and indirect involvement of micro-irrigation, because micro-irrigation really enhanced the production and productivity of horticulture crops. I'm not reading all what is written here, that since you will be having this presentation available, you can just read to those data. In 2010, National Mission on Micro-irrigation, that boosted the efforts. And final efforts are done, as Dr. Nemi Chandrappa also mentioned, the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana that was launched in 2015. And it was launched with a big fanfare, with big objectives. I'll be discussing that later. Let me just take a minute to explain what are the technological developments in micro-irrigation that over time has taken place. If you are just seeing the first picture, the emitter, the most crucial and the smallest component in drip irrigation system is its emitter, but it's the most important one. Starting from using a simple microtube, we got onto online systems and connected systems, and then finally we have a small chip embedded inside the lateral tube while extruding it, and these emitters can be placed at different places, different spacing and of different discharges, and they are available in different discharge ranges and different spacings. The other development was that perforated pipes, and perforated pipes really had limitations in use. So the next came the perspirating pipe that you are seeing in the black coil. They also had a lot of difficulty as there was absolutely no control on the remission rate. And finally, a very good development in micro-irrigation has come up, which is called the rain pipe. And this rain pipe covers 4 meters on both sides of this. And as you are seeing in the picture, it covers this entire area with a good uniformity, and also it provides a beautiful microclimate for the small vegetable crops particularly. Other developments, the filter is a real heart of the micro-irrigation system that you are seeing, starting from gravel filter, sand media filter, screen filter, hydrocyclone filter, dace filter, and all sort of special use filters. Then 3 types of fertilizer application devices, they were developed. The latest in the technology, the people who are interested in research particularly, they will appreciate the latest research aspect or topic in micro-irrigation is oxygenation. That is called the air injection. So we are already injecting fertilizer solution along with the irrigation water. Now the attempts are being made how to inject more oxygen, more air. And that is to keep the soil within the root zone system in perfect environment, a perfect combination of moisture, air, and nutrients so that the plant growth really. In really water scarce situations, the dew also is being attempted to be harvested, and
We are not able to hear you. Hello. क्या हुआ? देखो तो जरा, अब कुछ कर रहा है क्या? Unable to hear. नहीं पड़ रहा. Hello. बात करिए हम पढ़ना से. आएगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच. बहुत अच्छा लगा आप आए. हेलो. हेलो. कैसे हो गया? हेलो. नहीं गड़बड़ है क्या? हेलो.
You are audible. You are audible. I can hear you. I think I
हाँ.
can hear also.
हेलो. हाँ, डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया. अरे तू उसको लगा रहे हो, वो नहीं उठा दे. अभी करते हैं, हम फिर क्वार्टर से बात करते हैं.
Mr. Dr.
Okay, thank you.
Rajput can join again, sir, with the same link.
हेलो.
Hello.
हाँ मैडम.
Dr. Rajput can join again with the same
Rajput
link.
साहब is disconnected.
Yes, sir. He can join again with the same link.
So how to tell him? Okay, just a minute. I'll talk to him. Please wait. Okay. Please go. हेलो राजपूत साहब, आप उसी लिंक से फिर से ज्वाइन करिए. यू आर डिस्कनेक्टेड. वी आर नॉट एबल टू हियर. हाँ हाँ, वी आर नॉट एबल टू हियर यू टोटली. हाँ, वो मैडम ने बताया कि उनसे बोलिए उसी लिंक से फिर से कनेक्ट करें अपने को. ओके, थैंक यू. हाँ, थोड़ा पीछे से बैक करिएगा क्योंकि. ओके ओके, थैंक यू. क्या हुआ? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
But Rajput is not audible. Dr. Rajput should be audible.
Sir, is he facing any network problem?
No, he said he was not disconnected. He was trying to again getting reconnected. He kept on speaking without knowing it. I have asked him to use same link. Can you help us what to do, madam?
So we can wait for a couple of minutes, and then otherwise, if he cannot join, in that case, we can move ahead with the second speaker, sir.
No, but he has to
Yes,
complete
he
his-
has joined. He is joining, sir.
Sure.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Dr. Jaswant Singh,
Yes, we can hear you.
you can hear me, but unfortunately the Wi-Fi has been lost. So
Oh.
I am connecting now on mobile, and on mobile it will not be possible to share the screen. So
Okay.
I can only complete seeing here my presentation. So only orally I can speak, that's all.
Okay.
Because of the glitches that we are having here.
Okay.
I do not know.
What
Suddenly, because of some problem, this
Yes.
Wi-Fi got disconnected. So, well,
At
friends,
least
I was talking about the government efforts in this line, in this direction. And in this direction, since the Prime Minister said that we have to improve water use efficiency, particularly in our canal command areas. So we are trying different options available, technological solutions available, like pumping directly from the distributory, creating supplementary or augmenting alternate reservoirs, and then using that reservoir water into the through the micro-irrigation system, using the elevated canals and connecting it with drip. And then finally, one of the best example that we'll have is in Talwada near Amritsar, where the whole canal is lifted using the solar panels installed along the canal. And this water is pumped and then used for irrigation of higher reaches in Kandi Canal area, which was unirrigated earlier. Similarly, the PMKSY also suggests that all the schemes which are ending in developing water resource through water harvesting or through watershed, they must interconnect with the micro-irrigation to use the harvested water efficiently. And with that, I think since because of this technical hiccup, I'll just simply mention one more thing, that micro-irrigation enables, which was earlier impossible, to have vertical farming, to irrigating sloping lands, irrigating deserts, having terrace gardening, and all such problems. Anyway, I'm sorry for the hiccup, but I am available for any questions and answer. I am able to, I'll be able to try.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Finished.
Thank you. With that, Professor Jaswant Singh, I think
Thank you.
I must
Thank you
thank
very much.
and appreciate the Institution of Engineers office bearers and you particularly for having me here and interacting with boys, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for excellent talk you have given. So, shall we have questions right at the beginning, at the end of your talk, or both of you should finish? Then we should discuss. What do you think is convenient for both of you?
For me, there's no problem, but I think it would be good. People may not remember the questions later. So if they have any question, they can come. Otherwise, I'll also be available for later also.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Questions, please, if any.
Sir, we have not received any questions as of now, so we can go ahead with our second
At the end, we can
panelist. Yes, we can take up the question at the end.
Okay, thank you.
At the end, we will discuss. Okay.
Yeah. I am available for that also.
Okay. Now, Dr. Rajendra Gupta ji. Dr. Rajendra Gupta, please. Hello.
Yes.
I will introduce you first. Dr. Rajendra Gupta did his BTech in agricultural engineering in 1985 from College of Technology and Agriculture Engineering, MPAU, Udaipur, Rajasthan. Qualified ARS right after his BTech and joined ICAR in the discipline of soil and water conservation engineering at ICAR IISR Lucknow. He did his ME in irrigation water management in 1997 from University of Roorkee, which is now IIT Roorkee. He was honored with gold medal for standing first in his MA degree at IIT Roorkee. Then he did PhD from Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow in 2011. Dr. Gupta is recipient of Jan Irrigation Award of Indian Society of Agricultural Engineers, and he has more than 50 papers in national and international journals, has presented 25 national and international seminars, papers in seminars. His area of interest has been irrigation water management and use of different effluents for agricultural purposes. With this brief introduction, I request Dr. Gupta to kindly deliver his lecture. Talk. Gupta ji.
I hope I am audible.
Hello.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Dr. Nemi Chandrappa, Chairman, Agricultural Engineering Division. Dr. Rangnath, Chairman, Committee for Advancement of Technology and Engineering, Institution of Engineers. Dr. Masarrat Noor Khan Saab, Chairman, Institution of Engineers, UP State Center. Dr. Jaswant Singh Ji, Honorary Secretary, UP State Center. Major General C. Ali Sahab and Dr. Rajput Sahab and dear participants. It is my proud privilege to interact with all of you, and I am feeling proud of it that Institution of Engineers has given me this opportunity to share my experience with drip irrigation system and sprinkler irrigation system. So today I'll be restricting my talk with water resources, then water management strategies and scope for sprinkler and drip irrigation system for enhancing farmers' income. I think Dr. Rajput has already given this water availability statistics that with 2.4% of world area and 4% of available water resources, we are supporting 17.1% of world population. And if we see that we are, our rank is 132 out of 195 countries in per capita availability of water resources, and we are having very poor quality of water also. And most of the rainfall comes in 15 days, rainy days only. And per capita availability right now, we are having 1,400 meter cube per day, per annum. So if we see the availability of water resources, then we have already utilized 28.1% of the available water resources we are utilizing. And by the year 2050, we will be having 29% deficit in case of water availability. And we have to certainly go for water saving technologies so that we can reduce the water use for agricultural purposes, because most of the developmental activities and other activities will snatch away available water available for irrigation purposes. So if we see the ultimate irrigation potential of our country and Uttar Pradesh in particular, then this is the situation. And adoption of micro-irrigation is very, very low in terms of percentage of gross cultivable area. We are having only 4.6% of our gross cultivable area under drip irrigation, under micro-irrigation system. So we have to go for higher adoption of micro-irrigation system. So these are the uses of water under different sectors and different years, and we are continuously increasing the share of water usage for other sectors, and this water comes from irrigation sector itself. So similarly, we are facing slowly we are reaching to water scarcity line. These are the projected water scarcity areas of the world in 2025, and we can see that except coastal area and eastern part of our country, all the part of our country will be under water scarcity by 2025. If we look at the water footprints, then we are using maximum amount of water in rice, growing rice, wheat, then soybean, then maize and sugarcane. And we have to concentrate more water saving for these crops. If we look at the groundwater resources, then we have already exploited almost 75% of the groundwater resources of the country, particularly in Uttar Pradesh, and around 65% of the groundwater resources in our country. So groundwater recharge is decreasing. Say this is the statistics of Uttar Pradesh. So groundwater recharge is decreasing and water extraction is increasing and groundwater availability is decreasing. So we have to certainly go for water saving technologies. If we look at the recharge, then only 15.45% of the rainwater we are making available for recharge. Rest of the water we are losing. So we have to certainly go for water recharge structure so that we can go for recharge, because most of the 60 to 70% of our country is being irrigated with groundwater. So we have to more concentrate on groundwater recharge also. These are the statistics for overexploited critical and semi-critical areas, and they are increasing. Say within a span of 5 years, 25% of the areas are increased in India as well as in Uttar Pradesh. And slowly, groundwater table is also decreasing. Only say 30% of the blocks are reporting no decline. Otherwise, all the blocks, groundwater table is decreasing. This already has been mentioned by Dr. Rajput, so I am not covering it. And if we go for irrigation efficiencies, then these are the figures of the irrigation efficiencies in different irrigation methods. And even if we are using surface irrigation methods, and if these surface irrigation water for these surface irrigation is coming from canal or well, that also makes that a lot of difference, because here when we go for well irrigation, then farmers have to pay for electricity or diesel, so they are using water more efficiently, and conveyance efficiency goes higher. Similarly, if we go for other improved irrigation technologies, then our spring irrigation efficiency will go higher. So these are the factors responsible for selection of the irrigation method, say available water holding capacity of the soil, then clay content of the soil, then salinity of the soil, then what type of soil it is. Is it erodible soil or say not erodible soil? Then steep topography, then undulating topography, then high sediment water, quality of water also is responsible for selection of the irrigation methods. So all these factors will influence the selection of the irrigation methods. So there are two situations under which we have to manage our water. Whether in one situation irrigation water availability is adequate. In this case, we have to, our aim is to maximize the sugarcane crop production. And in case of irrigation water availability is restricted, here we have to maximize the water use efficiency. So objective of our objective will be different under different water availability situations. So at the Indian Institute of Sugarcane Research, first of all, we have tried to maximize the irrigation efficiency of surface irrigation methods, and we conducted experiments on ring pit method of planting, then skip furrow method of planting, then irrigation at critical growth stages, and trash mulching. So because most of the sugarcane area cultivated in Uttar Pradesh and subtropical part of the country is being irrigated through surface irrigation methods only, and we have to improve the surface irrigation method efficiency on first, then we can switch to advanced irrigation methods like sprinkler irrigation method or drip irrigation method. So we first of all we conducted the experiments on these surface, improving the irrigation efficiencies through surface irrigation methods. So we observed 96% improvement in sugarcane yield through ring pit method of planting, then 38.8% in skip furrow irrigation method. Then irrigation at critical growth stages, we observed around 30% improvement in sugarcane yield, and by trash mulching, we observed 25% improvement in sugarcane yield. Similarly, irrigation water use efficiency also improved, and with ring pit method of planting, it improved by 124%, and skip furrow method, it was around 70%. Then in trash mulching, it was around 85%. Then here benefit cost ratio also improved with the minor intervention only, and from farmers practice, when farmer practices were adopted, 1.24 was the benefit cost ratio of sugarcane cultivation, and it improved up to 2.4%. 2.4:1 through trash mulching. So this is the ring feed method of irrigation. And this is the skip furrow method of irrigation. Then trash mulching. And then we also tried to improve the land utilization and water utilization efficiency through intercropping. And when we did intercropping of potato with sugarcane, then the benefit cost ratio improved. Say benefit cost ratio when potato and sugarcane were grown in relay cropping, then it was only 1.84. And when sugarcane and potato were cultivated together as intercrop, then it was 2.26:1. Then precision land leveling also improves the water use efficiency, and it improved significantly when we went for precision land leveling through laser land leveling. Then disadvantages of conventional irrigation systems were higher labor cost, because every time we have to employ labor for providing irrigation water. Then cyclic aeration and moisture stress, because when we at the time of irrigation we saturate the soil, so aeration problem will be there. And when we just before irrigation, moisture stress will be there. Extensive weed growth, because almost entire surface of the field is wetted, so there will be a lot of weed growth. Then low germination due to desiccation, because sugarcane sets get desiccated, so germination will be less. Other crops will be also be less germinated because of moisture stress. Then leaching of water soluble nutrients will be there. High pest and disease incidence will be there, because most of the time sugar crop soil surface will remain wet. Then low water and fertilizer use efficiency because of leaching. So why should we go for modern irrigation technologies? These are the factors which force us to go for modern irrigation technologies. Like productivity per unit of water is very low, so we have to improve the productivity per unit of water. So we can improve productivity per unit of water only by adopting drip sprinkler irrigation systems. Then water available for irrigation is becoming scarce, because whatever quantity of water is there for irrigation is being slowly and slowly diverted for other activities. So we have to manage with the reduced quantity of water. Then cost of generating water source is very high. Suppose we want to construct dam, so I think right now it is 2 to 3 lakhs rupees per hectare cost is coming for generating irrigation water resources. So what are the solutions? The solutions for growing crops with limited quantity of water are sprinkler irrigation system and drip irrigation system. So conditions favoring sprinkler irrigation adoption is soil too porous for good distribution of water by surface methods. If sandy soils are irrigated by surface irrigation methods, then lot of water goes waste through deep percolation losses. So we can go for a sprinkler irrigation system to irrigate the crop within root zone depth. Then shallow soils preventing land leveling, and topography preventing use of surface irrigation. Suppose undulating topography is there and soil depth is very shallow, then we cannot go for land leveling, so we can go for sprinkler irrigation system. Then land having steep slope and easily erodible soils, in that case also we can irrigate through sprinkler irrigation system. There are so many advantages of a sprinkler irrigation system, like surface runoff and deep percolation losses are minimized. Then water-soluble fertilizers, herbicides, and fungicides can be applied with irrigation water. Then crop can be protected from frost and high temperature. Field supply channels and bunds are not required, and movement of farm machinery is not interfered, because with surface irrigation systems we have to make lot of bunds and channels, and farm machinery movement is hampered due to them. Then there are some certain limitations also with sprinkler irrigation system, like wind distorts the spraying pattern of the sprinklers, and therefore at some places there will be over irrigation, and then at some places there will be under irrigation. Then water must be clean and free from sand, debris, and large amount of dissolved salts, because water comes out from small nozzles. So if foreign material is present in the water, then they will choke the nozzles. Then water requirement is very high, because in case of sprinklers, it is about 4 to 5 kg per centimeter square pressure is required for sprinklers to sprinkle the water. And higher initial investment is there, then not suitable for crops having soft skin fruits. So these are the components required for a sprinkler irrigation system. So these are the results of the sprinkler irrigation system conducted at Rahuri and Dharwad, and there is a significant amount of water saving and a significant increase in sugarcane yield was reported. Then another micro irrigation technique is drip irrigation system. So why do we need a drip irrigation system? Is conventional irrigation methods are highly inefficient. Their efficiency is around 35 to 40%. Then frequent fertigation is not possible with conventional irrigation methods, because we cannot apply that frequently irrigation water as we wish. And in drip irrigation system, we can even hourly or daily we can apply irrigation water. So with the irrigation water, we can apply water soluble fertilizers. Then surface irrigation methods cannot be automated because it cannot be regulated. Water flow cannot be regulated in surface irrigation methods, so they cannot be automated. Then use of drip irrigation saves 40 to 60% of water, then 30 to 40%, 50% of nutrients, and yield enhancement is also there. So for all these benefits, we can go for a drip irrigation system. So drip irrigation system delivers water, fertilizer, and plant protection chemicals at the right place and right time in correct amount and frequently without wastage. So all these for all these benefits, we can go for drip or sprinkler irrigation system. Then drip irrigation system can be surface drip or subsurface drip. So there are some advantages of surface drip system, and there are some advantages of subsurface drip irrigation system. In subsurface drip irrigation system, because we apply water below the soil surface, so almost entire field surface remains dry. So water evaporation of water from the soil surface is very less. So it is more efficient. Then laterals are placed below the ground level, so they are not hampering the farm operations also, and laterals are not cut while doing intercultural operations. So there is longer life of the laterals. Then because we are applying water soils at certain depth of the soil, so root zone depth is also increased, and lodging of the crop will be less in case of subsurface drip irrigation system. Then poor quality of water can also be used with subsurface drip irrigation system. There are some disadvantages also for with subsurface drip irrigation system, like deep plowing cannot be done because laterals are placed below the soil surface. If we go for deep plowing, then laterals will be damaged. Then harvesting in wet soil moisture conditions can damage the system. Then danger of potential root intrusion into the drippers is there. Then danger of mud sucking in drippers is there. Then salt accumulation in the topsoil layer is there. So I think Dr. Rajput has already covered that what are the components of the drip irrigation system. Still, I can just briefly go about them. Then we have the pump which creates the pressure, then bypass valve is there, then Venturi assembly is there to inject agrochemical, water soluble agrochemicals. Then pressure gauge is there for judging the health of the system. Then backwash valve is there, sand filter is there to filter out the floating impurities. Then screen filter is there to filter out the fine soil particles, clay particles. Then there is a main line, sub main line, and the laterals, and ultimately emitters are there, which gives water drop by drop to the plants. So these are the two type of irrigation system. This is surface irrigation system where entire field surface is wet and lot of water remains stand for quite some time over the field surface. So crop is experiencing waterlogging conditions in initial phase of the irrigation. But in case of drip irrigation system, soil surface is almost dried, and almost 30 to 40, only 30 to 40% of the soil surface remains wet. So less quantity of water is required. So these components of the drip irrigation system are already covered by Dr. Rajput, so I am not speaking about them. So here I am showing that how drip fertigation improves the fertilizer use efficiency. Say when we adopt surface irrigation systems and then apply nutrients over the soil surface by spreading, broadcasting. So with that, it is only 30 to 40% fertilizer nitrogen use efficiency, and then phosphorus use efficiency is only 20%, and potassium use efficiency is only 50%. And if we go for fertigation, these irrigation efficiencies are drastically improved. So in this table, I am presenting the data on data of the experiments conducted on banana, sugarcane, and tomato, and there is significant profit improvement in the profit of the farmer by adopting fertigation. So this is the water saving in drip irrigated sugarcane. Say about 40 to 50% water saving is reported in almost all the states. So these are the results of the experiment conducted at Indian Institute of Sugarcane Research, Lucknow, and we observed here that tiller count improved by 24%. The number of leaves per plant improved by 14%. Then length of the leaf is improved. Then width of the leaf is improved, and average leaf area and leaf area per hectare is improved. So because leaf area is improved, so more photosynthesis is there, and because of more photosynthesis, there is considerable improvement in the yield of the crop. So these are the experimental results at Indian Institute of Sugarcane Research. So if we see the surface irrigation system and the comparison of surface irrigation system and drip irrigation system, then number of millable canes, there is 16% improvement in the number of millable canes and 21% improvement in the sugarcane yield. And irrigation water was 40% less, and irrigation water use efficiency is almost 100% improved. And nitrogen use efficiency, phosphorus use efficiency, and potassium use efficiency also improved around 21%. So with adoption of the drip irrigation system, we are not only improving sugarcane yield, but also improving irrigation water use efficiency and fertilizer use efficiency. These are the results of another experiment. Here, when we applied irrigation water at irrigation water equivalent to 0.6 of pen evaporation at 2 days interval, then irrigation water use efficiency was 1650, around 1650 kg per hectare centimeter. But here sugarcane yield was only 80 tons per hectare. But when we applied irrigation water equivalent to 0.8 times of pen evaporation and 2 days at 2 days interval, then sugarcane yield was also improved, and there is significant improvement in irrigation water use efficiency. It is almost double than the conventional flood irrigation system. If we see the rooting pattern of the sugarcane and its moisture extraction pattern, then almost 85% of the soil moisture is extracted from the top 40 centimeter soil layer. And if we adopt the surface irrigation systems, then we cannot reduce the leaching of deep percolation losses of water beyond 40 centimeter depth. So whatever water is going beyond 40 centimeter depth is being wasted. So with drip and sprinkler micro irrigation systems, we can apply water only up to 40 centimeter depth of soil, and we can save considerable amount of irrigation water. And this is the figure showing that if we increase the interval of the irrigation, then initially if we can increase the irrigation interval, then in that case we can go for deeper roots, and then we can extract water from the deeper soil layers also. So there are some design aspects of the drip irrigation systems. First of all, we need to know peak crop water requirement, then area of the field to be irrigated, then availability of irrigation water and power. Suppose water is available in lesser quantity and power is also available in lesser quantity, then we have to go for drip or sprinkler irrigation system. We can't adopt surface irrigation system. Then irrigation water quality also important, because with drip and sprinkler irrigation systems we can use poor quality of irrigation water also. Then soil characteristics like infiltration rate and water holding capacity will also play important role in design parameters. And then land topography. And these are the crop factors taken for sugarcane crop at different crop growth stages. Then these are the depth below the ground level in different soils where we can place the laterals of the drip irrigation system. So to reduce the cost of the drip irrigation system, we plant the sugarcane crop or any other crop we can plant in paired rows, and we can place the laterals between the two rows of the pair. So these are the potential crops where we can go for drip irrigation system. These are the photographs of the drip irrigated and surface irrigated crop. Here we can see that there are so many tillers. Here tillering is less. This is surface irrigation system and this is drip irrigated crop. Here slow crop growth is there and less tillers, and we have fast crop growth is there and with more tillers. This is the difference of the crop. This is drip irrigated sugarcane and this is surface irrigated sugarcane. And we can use poor quality of irrigation water also, because with drip irrigation system, all the excessive salts gets deposited away from the crop. This is the paired row planting of sugarcane with drip laterals. We have also designed sugarcane planter with the drip lateral laying attachment. Here we can plant the sugarcane crop as well as we can lay the drip laterals subsurface. So here planting is going on, planting operation is going on. And this is the field after planting and laying the drip laterals. So if we see the economics of the drip irrigation system, then 40 to 50% saving is there in weeding and intercultural operations. Then fertilizer, insecticide and herbicides are also saved by 25 to 35%. Then water saving is there, then labor and electricity cost saving is there. And overall benefit cost ratio is much higher than surface irrigation systems. So with drip irrigation in sugarcane, we found that tillering is improved by 25%, then number of leaves improved by 15%, then length of leaf by 13%, width of leaf by 10%, average leaf area by 26%, and total leaf area per hectare by 80%. So because of all these improvements in the crop, in the plant, we got higher sugarcane yield as well as higher water use efficiency. So we can conclude from the above discussions that we have to improve our groundwater recharge because presently only 15.5% of rainwater is used for groundwater recharge. So we have to improve the groundwater recharge considerably. Then only 50% of the net sown area is irrigated. So we have to improve, we have to go for advanced irrigation systems like micro-irrigation systems to expand our net sown, irrigated net sown area. Then micro-irrigation system covers only 4.6% of the gross cropped area. So we have to do a lot of efforts to improve the adoption of micro-irrigation systems. And then we can improve the farmers' income by adopting more efficient irrigation systems and accurate irrigation scheduling, then avoiding irrigation at less sensitive stages and irrigating at sensitive stages, then growing short duration intercrops such as potatoes, pulses, vegetables, etc. Then adopting improved agronomic practices such as mulching, deep trench planting, precision land leveling, etc. Then adopting moisture stress tolerant varieties and adopting micro-irrigation and fertigation. Then only we can improve the farmers' income. Thank you so much for patience hearing.
Very good. Very nice. Hello. Very nice. Thank you both. But now here is a question answer session. So delegates are requested to kindly put their questions before the panelists one by one. One question has been received. I am for your reply. Any one of you can reply. They want to know what is the difference drip and fertigation in fertilizer application.
If I have to
Yes.
respond to,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You all have seen drip irrigation as nothing but applying water in small doses at nearly the where it is needed, near the plant, and only in the quantity how much is required. So if that particular system is drip irrigation system, whether you do it through closed plastic conduit or do it bamboo, do it anything. But if this from the source to the plant, if the water is conveyed under closed conduit, there is no loss of water as I discussed. It is called drip irrigation. Now, when we talk of fertigation, fertigation is a combination of two terms, fertilizer application plus irrigation. So in drip irrigation system, since we have the entire flow of water in closed conduit, the application of fertilizer is a tricky solution and requires engineering input. And engineering intervention says that we'll have to inject the fertilizer solution at a higher pressure than at which the water is flowing within the conduit. And to achieve that, we have three possible equipments available. One is venturi. All engineers understand what is venturi. Just using the diameter changes, sudden changes in diameter, decrease and increase, we can create a negative pressure suction and use it. Number two, it is a fertilizer application pump, which is very precise for precise application and for very precious crops. And number three is, so we can use any of the device, either a simple tank, and fertilizer tank is nothing but a closed tank wherein you allow certain water to get into it, where the fertilizer solution is filled up, and then take out this quantity of water and connect it with the main pipe of the system. So the water solution, that is fertilizer solution that is available in the fertilizer tank, will keep on getting diluted and it will keep on moving along with the water to the plant. So that is fertigation. So fertigation is application of water, irrigation water and fertilizer, that is fertigation. And if you remember, I told the latest in the micro-irrigation research is air ejection, where the attempts are being made to inject the air also in the solution, so that the root environment, soil environment of the plant roots can be maintained at the appropriate oxygen level. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajput sir. Questions, please. Any question? Any clarification, suggestion?
We have one more question. I see the question answer 2. So what is the second question? Can you see, Jaswant Singh?
Yes. How to find out water use efficiency? Srinath A. Question has been put by Srinath as to how to find out water use efficiency.
Water use efficiency.
Yes.
Okay. So, see, you use efficiency is very simple term. Efficiency is a very simple engineering term, which talks of output by input. But in water use, it is directly, we are not producing water by inputting water into it. So it is a slightly misnomer, and we define it in a number of ways by saying agriculture production per unit of water, or economic return per unit of water, or you can define it any terms, but it is simply a ratio of the two. What is the output achieved by a certain application of input? So output by input in whatever form you say, it is the efficiency. And if it is water use efficiency, it is definitely what the water is being used for and how much water is being applied. I think I am clear about that. If there is any doubt, I can further explain.
Any other question?
Sir,
Anybody else?
yes, sir, there is another question has come.
Acha. Okay.
So it is
The third question is from
Dr. Nutan Kumar Das. He is
N.K.
the
Das. Yes,
special
Dr. N.K.
invitee of Agricultural Engineering Division Board.
Yeah, excellent. Is liquid fertilizer available? Question is by N.K. Das sahab. Is liquid fertilizer?
I think your audio is not very clear. So,
I see.
Yeah.
So the question is liquid fertilizer available for use in drip?
Yes. The answer is yes to the question, straight question. It is available. Yes, it is available. And it's not only liquid fertilizers are available, they are available in soluble dry powders. They are available in solid form, but they are 100% soluble, and they are in different combinations available. If I say 19, 19, 19, that means 19% nitrogen, 19% phosphorus, and 19% potash. So in similar combinations, similar values, different solids, powders, 100% water soluble are available, and there is no difficulty, but they are a bit expensive. So what do we suggest to our common farmers? That they need not go for liquid fertilizers all the time because they are expensive. They should select regular commercial granular fertilizers which are soluble in water. Now, for example, for nitrogen, it is very simple. You use urea and almost double the quantity of water it absorbs, and it gets almost 100% dissolved. In those fertilizers which are, let us say, potassium and phosphorus, which are less soluble, then the solution could be that you dissolve it in water, leave it for a certain time, and then filter it, and then solution can be applied along with the irrigation water. And even for phosphorus, we have the phosphoric acid available in the market, commercial grade, which can be used as the phosphoric solution or nutrient for the plants. And for potash, we have different types of potassic fertilizers, and several of them, they are soluble in water, and they can be, a solution can be prepared, kept it overnight, and then it can be used. That is a cheaper solution for applying nutrients to the plants. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Next, any clarification, question, etc.? If not, I take the next point of agenda of minute-to-minute program. Now I have to summarize the lecture given by speakers. Friends, I feel privileged in doing that. I have an opportunity to work with them, so I feel proud, and I would like to briefly tell what they have said. I summarize like as given below. That it is now established fact that water is a critical natural resource required for all aspects of life and for sustainability of economy, society, and environment. Factors such as population growth, climate change, and rainfall variability land use changes, water pollution, water demand for food production, affect future water availability and security. You, as well as Dr. Gupta and Nemichandra Prasad, all expressed your views like this. Sustainable water management is increasingly becoming important, and we need innovation in the technology, further innovation, policy and instrumental arrangements to cope up with the future water scarcity. I take the example of Uttar Pradesh, tailed by Dr. Rajendra Gupta, that Uttar Pradesh is endowed with bountiful of water resources, fertile land and favorable climate. Its 8 major rivers basins are dominated by agriculture. He has shown that, which accounts for about 27% of the state GDP and 63% of employment. Total available water resources, including important surface water, as per share is, as reported by him, at 203 BCM at 90% dependability and 236 BCM at 75% of dependability. Friends, from both of the speakers, it has established that traditional irrigation methods are, we should get rid of that. The dominant method of irrigation practiced in large parts of the state is surface irrigation in the state of UP. And if you travel across the country from north to south, you will see that in northern part of the country, these so-called advanced method of irrigation are negligibly present. Reasons for this. The state is what I was saying. The dominant method of irrigation practiced of the state is surface irrigation, under which crop utilized only less than 1/2 of the water released, and the remaining half gets lost in conveyance, application, runoff, and evaporation. Both of you mentioned. Considerable scope exists for enhancing the water use efficiency, bring additional area under irrigation. Scientific management of irrigation water is necessary of productivity and alleviate irrigation related problems such as shortage of irrigation water, waterlogging, and salinity, etc. There is immense scope for conservation, distribution, and on-farm utilization of water and attaining higher water use efficiency through micro-irrigation system. Friends, yield can be multiplied significantly with a limited amount of water. Modern irrigation techniques like sprinkler and drip, as detailed by you people, should be promoted where water is scarce and topographic and the soil condition do not permit conventional method of irrigation. Micro-irrigation methods like drip and irrigation, sprinkler need to be employed for efficient distribution and application of water for crop production. Drip and sprinkler is probably the solution that reduces the conveyance and distribution losses and allows higher water use efficiency. Drip irrigation has the greatest potential for the efficient use of water and fertilizer through fertigation. Friends, one more thing I want to say, that now the importance of micro irrigation to achieve sustainability in Indian agriculture is important, very important. But what I feel, hearing you people, a lot has been done. Benefits are multifold. Not to talk of double the income of the farmers, doubling the income of the farmers. But the fact remains that it is neither extensively stated, nor people are trained, nor awareness is generated. Programs to bring the Indian farming community nearer these things with micro-irrigation systems, efficient micro-irrigation systems. Therefore, extension services in micro-irrigation is to be adopted because you both have told that the central government launched a comprehensive flagship program called Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. That is more crop per crop. If this is the situation where subsidy is also given by 55% subsidy is given to marginal farmers, small and marginal farmers, all over the country, by and large, except for, and funding from state to central government is 40-60, except for NEH. So I find no reason why should it not be popularized. Hence, therefore, extension taken care of. With that, I conclude the summarization. I have summarized it. Any clarification, start from else, I will proceed for vote of thanks. Yes. Last one, please, wants to say something? Shall I proceed, madam?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, please.
May I ask a question to Dr. Rajput?
Yes, please.
For horizontal surface, we are applying drip irrigation horizontally. For vertical crops, what are the sprinklers are available for the best use of the plant?
Thank you, Nutan Kumar Das ji or Sandeep Chakrabarti ji for joining the webinar. You are right.
Yes.
In fact, in the later stage, because of the hiccup in the my Wi-Fi stopped, I couldn't show you the pictures, but I think you gave me that opportunity to speak.
Yes, yes.
In fact, the future agriculture or horticulture is simply possible because of micro irrigation and soilless media. These two technologies give an opportunity to grow plants anywhere and everywhere. The question is that if you are using soilless media, it is very, very less in comparison to soil in terms of weight. So even if you put on a terrace, the load that you add is less. But the question comes how to irrigate. Let's say vertical farming.
Yes,
You told vertical farming, A-frame farming, then all sort of variants available nowadays to grow vegetables and other plants under balcony and in shelves, on terraces. It is simply possible because we have the possibility of irrigating in any condition through micro-irrigation. Now in UK, there is a huge building that has come up and it's called the plant machine. They are cultivating vegetables, particularly the fresh leaf vegetables, in rotating trays. And the trays rotate at a particular speed such that they get, each tray gets adequate sunlight. And in such a system, irrigation becomes really complex. And if the micro-irrigation is not available, it is impossible to grow plants under those circumstances. Similarly, A-frames, similarly, vertical farming, everywhere the system is only to provide moisture and nutrients through micro-irrigation. And the micro-irrigation provides possibility simply because technically it is possible to design any particular discharge at any particular location in the network. So if it is vertical, then we can decide the pressures at different levels. If it is rotating discs or rotating trays, then we can provide a core water source and then spraying it into different trays at the particular time and particular location at a particular discharge rate. So all that is possible simply because of micro irrigation. Thank you with that, Nutan Kumar. It was nice to talk to you. Not seen for a long time.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So now I go for next point of
Sir,
agenda.
sir, may I ask only one question to Rajendra Gupta?
Yes, please, you can.
For sugarcane, Dr. Gupta, for sugarcane,
Yeah.
which variety of sugarcane is accepting the drip irrigation very nicely? Will you just speak on that, give some highlight on that?
No, drip irrigation system is
because-
suitable for any variety.
Yeah, because
It is not variety specific actually.
Sir, because some
Yes,
of
sir.
the papers I contributed to Maharashtra in Sugarcane Research Institute, so particular variety of sugarcane, one particular a pair row system you are allowing, because as a banana plants pair row system you are allowing, same thing you are allowing for the sugarcane. But in sugarcane root zone area and other things, as you spoke that root zone area, what are the soil conditions and what is the watering pattern, how we are applying the water. I want to just please highlight on that, on the root zone acceptance of the water of the sugarcane, the variety. I want that only.
So it is not variety specific actually. Drip irrigation system can be applied in any variety.
No, please, if on the
And whatever
sir,
what
type
we
of
have
soil,
observed is,
considering the water holding capacity of the soil, soil type of the soil, watering pattern of the soil, where the root, you spoke that roots are growing under the soil surface up to this extent. On that,
Dr. Das,
will you
Dr. Das,
please highlight the root zone area growth.
Hello.
Sir.
Sorry for intervention.
Suppose-
Gupta ji, you and Dr. Das talk separately, please.
Yes, we'll talk.
I have to complete. Please.
Yes. We'll talk
Clarified
later. We'll talk later.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I proceed for vote of thanks. Friends, it is my profound privilege to propose hearty vote of thanks to our Honorable President, Dr. Hemant O. Thackeray Saab, for his kind blessings for conduct of this webinar, national webinar. I also express my gratitude on behalf of the Institution of Engineers in general and UP State Center in particular. All this, the Chairman Kate means Committee for Advancement of Technology and Engineering, Dr. Ranganathji, for very good observation and address. Dr. Nemi Chandrappa, sir, Chairman of Agriculture Engineering Division Board, for excellent briefing address, who expressed his views and reported about the status of different states very nicely. Also, I express gratitude to Major General Siali Saab for his kind presence. We are very much thankful to our chairman, Dr. Musarraf Noor Khan Saab of UP State Center, who could find time from his very busy schedule. He is actually abroad, but he accepted my request. Thank you, sir. Also, I am thankful to the institution in general on Siali Saab, Director Technical Dr. Sen Gupta ji, Madam Aparna Datta ji, and all the executives and her team helping us to organize this webinar and coordinating and arranging this excellently. Friends, I shall be filling it with my if I don't express my gratitude of working at the Institution of Engineers at UP State Center, Lucknow, and also our State Center Committee all the corporate members or past president, vice president, Engineer B.V. Singh, all the centers, chairman of UP local centers, and all those behind the curtain. I express my gratitude to all of them for their good support. I express my deep sense of gratitude on behalf of the Institution of Engineers, India, and on behalf of the UP State Center, the gratitude to our eminent panelists, Dr. Tbs Rajput and Dr. Rajendra Gupta Sahab, for excellent talk and very informative, and it is very enthusiastic to put on record that micro-irrigation has a lot of potential and people should follow it and make the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister a reality for increasing the farmer, for doubling the farmers' income. This will contribute maximum. The comparison has been shown in different tables by conduct of experiments by both of you in general, Rajendra Gupta in particular, that if adopted, it is enough to help them increasing their income by 200%. With this, I thank you all. And to mention somebody's name, please excuse me. And thank you, Madam Aparna Dattaji, for giving me this opportunity. And all those at national level, we have made this platform central for the first time. We have used this platform for the first time. Next time, it may further improve the things as it is. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Masarrat Noor Khan Sahab. Thank you very much. Thank you. Just one thing. It was a real opportunity and we enjoyed the event. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your cooperation and attending.
A pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Now, with the permission of the chair, I am closing this session.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you.